If you watch my last video, this one might seem a bit confusing. All else equal, dividends are actually bad. The only real benefit to a dividend is in your head. Dividends are passive income, it's money that you earn while you sleep, blah, blah, blah. This is stuff everyone talks about here on YouTube. In this video, I want to talk about some of the more intangible benefits of dividends that maybe you haven't considered before. One benefit to owning a company that pays a dividend is that there is a solid investor base. When a company decides to institute a dividend, there's a new type of investor who's wanting to look into this type of company, and that is a dividend investor. These dividend investors are typically buy and hold for the long term, and as a result, the stock prices of these companies who pay that dividend consistently tend to be a bit more stable. And if the company performs well over the long term, which hopefully these companies are relatively solid, you may find that some of these dividend companies provide better risk-adjusted or volatility-adjusted returns. Second, a dividend communicates the message that a company is stable. In order to begin paying a dividend, a company must be profitable, and in order for management to be confident that they'll be able to pay that dividend in the future, they must also believe that the company will stay profitable. And trust me, companies take great pride in slowly increasing their dividend over time and never cutting it. Many investors and all of these dividend investors keep close tabs on the dividend growth for their companies that they own. Third, companies that pay a dividend are generally more mature, and this has a variety of implications. For example, that company has greater staying power. They may have significant market share, or there might be significant barriers to entry for other firms to come in and compete. Next, the company is actually profitable. Many new investors may be surprised to learn that a lot of companies actually don't make money or may even lose a significant amount of money. These firms that pay a dividend are later in the company life cycle. Not always, but usually a dividend payer will be more resilient in difficult economic times. And because of all of these factors, dividend companies typically have more stable earnings and therefore a more stable stock price. And if you're fortunate enough to pick a good dividend payer that grows their earnings over time, you'll find that when that company doubles its earnings in a 10-year period, the stock price will likely double as well. Fourth and finally, stock market prices can be very volatile, and this does include many dividend-paying companies. However, the dividends themselves are highly consistent. They pay that dividend quarter in, quarter out, or in some cases every single month, no matter what the stock price is doing. And with any luck, if you pick a good company, that dividend will be slowly increasing over time. Depending on which phase of your investing journey you're in or what type of investor you are, that dividend may play a very important role in your overall investing strategy. I want to give you guys just a little bit of nuance since that's what we do on this channel, and what I'd throw your way is that if you own any dividend payers, you might want to consider owning it in a retirement account or a tax-advantaged account. The reason why is that if you just have it in a standard brokerage account, you will have to pay taxes on those dividends every single year that you're being paid those dividends. Whereas if you owned it in a retirement vehicle, like an IRA, you will not have to pay taxes on those dividends. This is especially the case if you own any REITs that pay a high percentage of their income in the form of dividends, or other dividend payers that do not have qualified dividends. Most companies do have qualified dividends, which would be taxed at your ordinary capital gains rate. However, if your companies that you have or different securities that you own do not pay qualified dividends, this would fall under your normal income tax rate, which should normally be higher than your capital gains rate, which is why it's especially important to own these companies in a tax-sheltered account. One final thing I'd like to point out, and I hope this is obvious to you, even though for many people it's not, is that you don't have to be just a dividend investor or just a growth investor. You don't have to put the label on yourself as being one or the other. In many cases, it's a good idea to own different types of companies. It's not illegal to own Home Depot and Tesla in the same portfolio. So just food for thought there, and don't try to tie yourself down to any one idea. Don't listen only to one person, including myself. Make your own choices. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, but hopefully it gets you thinking. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, comment down below, and consider subscribing. Until that next one, peace.